Hello, everybody. What is up? And welcome back to the OC Gridiron Show, Week 10 edition. Mr. Fryer, the regular season has wound down all the way to this point with so many questions to be answered this week. How are you feeling about this week, Week 10? We got league titles on the line, playoff chases, maybe some coin flips. You got some at-large questions with the Cal Prep rankings. So much going on.
Yeah, it's week 10 is always a big week, and we're talking about 5 games, but there's several games besides the 5 we're talking about that are, win or, hope for an at-large berth, win, don't go in, win, get a league title, add another year to the banner in the gym, 2023, guys can always go walk in that gym. Yeah, 2023, I was on that group. That's us, important stuff.
And speaking of that, one thing I didn't even mention too, I mean, this is the last run for those kind of league titles with the said name on the gym banner. This is the last time you're going to maybe see for a while, you'll see the Freeway League title on the banner. I mean, I don't know what these other leagues are going to be called with as we go in the future here.
Yeah, I think it looks better on a Letterman's jacket when it says like Orange League champion or Sunset League champion instead of League A champion, League 3 champion. Yeah, I think I like the names. Now, there's some talk that they're going to name these leagues after guys from the past. I don't know if you heard some of that. You heard some of that talk?
I've heard of that. That's an interesting idea too. I think, or maybe they could maybe give it a little bit of a title, maybe with call it the Orange County Football Conference 1, Orange County Conference 2, or letters, something like that. Maybe with a more official sounding title. That might help a little bit.
That still looks like garbage on a Letterman's jacket or on a banner. Do the Bob Johnson League down in South County. Of course, the Trinity League's out of it, so Rollinson deserves something, at modern day. But you could have, a Dick Hill League, Herb Hill League, the Freeway League area, Frank Mazzota League, even though he's still coaching, but, Dave White League, goodness gracious, Bill Workman League.
Coaches or even players, go with, the Carson Palmers, the Deshaun Fosters.
The Dan Albano League.
Let's Tony Gonzalez. Let's look at some of our Pro Football Hall of Fame players, stuff like that. So
the Sean Foster League better be a league of all running game teams.
Yeah, I mean
Myron Miller League.
Yeah.
If you pass more than 4 times in a game, you're out of the league.
All right. Well, we're gonna be talking about Coach Myron Miller's his beloved Tillers. He's part of that staff now as a consultant, one of the best consultants you can find in Orange County football. Myron Miller helping out Coach Anthony Lopez. They got a big game this week, don't they? But let's start in the Crestview League, Steve, on Thursday. This is a big one. Foothill trying to get that outright league title in the Crestview League. They're 6-3, 2-0, and they are the home team against Yorba Linda on Thursday at Tustin High. So, Yorba Linda just lost that heartbreaker last week in overtime to Villa Park.
Right.
And Foothill, continues to roll. They've clinched at least a share of the league title. What do you think happens in this one where if Foothill doesn't take care of business, you could be looking at a 3-way tie in the Crestview League and some coin flips to decide, who's got the automatic playoff bids.
Yeah, they're both all 3 of them are okay when it comes to getting a large bid. I think they're all going to go, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but now I saw Foothill lose and look bad to El Dorado. I was stunned, and El Dorado just played great. Offensive line dominated, D line dominated. Murray ran like crazy. Nate Beno, pretty good quarterback over there. And then Villa Park comes, loses to Foothill, right? And then Yorba Linda beats Villa Park, and we're supposed to figure this out. We do rankings? No way. A beat B, but B lost to C. All right, so just looking at the racing form, okay, looking at my buyer speed ratings, trying to handicap this race. Yorba Linda, I think just pedigree wise, talent wise, got to go with Yorba in this game.
All right. I am also picking Coach Jeff Bailey's team to win this game, but I won't be surprised if Foothill. Coach Case has been a veteran. They've, they're tough to beat in a big game, and there's a lot of pride. Coach Case, he's going year to year, and he's there. Both these teams have. I like both these quarterbacks. They both have good running backs. They got some balance to them on offense, and I just wonder if maybe Yorba-Linda's line play might be a little bit stronger. That's kind of why I'm leading with the Mustangs.
Sure.
But I'm excited to see this game. I haven't seen Foothill this year. Written a lot about them. Saw them in the summer. Like a lot of those guys. So should be an interesting game. So we're agree on that one, Steve. Let's see if it keeps on going. All right. Here's one of the most interesting ones because and we talk about how much is going on. How about Friday in the Freeway League? Sonora, one of the surprise teams in Orange County. They're 8-1, 4-0 in league. They've already clinched a share of their first league title under the late great Mark Takian in '94. They've got at least a share of it, but they can win their first outright Freeway League title ever. But they got to win the city championship against La Habra, who's been the traditional league juggernaut. And the Highlanders have bounced back from their loss to Troy, and they've looked impressive the last 2 weeks. And now there's a chance for La Habra to get a share of the league title. Who do you got in this one? I mean, could Sonora, pretty impressive last week against beating Troy, intercepted 4 passes. They ran their ground attack pretty well and got an early lead and took care of business against Troy. Who do you got in this one, Mr. Fryer?
I think when we talk about Coach of the Year this year, I think Coach Overlander at Sonora's got to be in our conversation, Dan. He's got to be. Yeah, I mean, cheapers. But, 7 wins? It's been a while since we've seen the Sonora team have a meaningful game in Week 10. So all that being said, I think La Habra's got the momentum back. I think they don't want to be that. Those fellas don't want to be that team that doesn't finish the Freeway League run, the Freeway League legacy. So I think the Highlanders win.
All right. I'm going to be at this game. I'm looking forward to it. I think I like the community feel of this. I think City La Habra is going to come out for this one. And I just have a feeling that maybe this Sonora team could be a team of destiny. And they were so impressive last week. I do think La Habra got its wake-up call. But if I got to go with a pick, I'm wondering if this is going to be Sonora's year. They haven't beat La Habra in this rivalry since 2001. So they've already seen what Troy made some big time history against La Habra this year. Troy beat the Highlanders for the first time since I think it was 2006. So here's Sonora's chance. So I'm going to pick an upset and see if Sonora can get it done. But I think it's going to be a pretty good game. Or who knows? I don't know if La Habra is going to come out and really, show its potential. And then they got their wake-up call against Troy. But I'm going to pick Sonora, so we're in disagreement on that one. Here's speaking of rivalries that, you hope, continue. I would put this one in there. I haven't checked in with the coaches on this one, but how about in the Orange Coast League? Orange playing host to Santa Ana on Friday night at El Medina, Steve. So this is the Saints. This is a good rivalry. Saints looking to get their outright league title. And, but here comes Orange, 1 loss in league to St. Margaret's. If the Panthers win, they have a share of the league title. They'll probably bring in, St. Margaret's will also get probably a share of the league title the way the league is trending. Who do you got in this one? Orange playing host to Santa Ana.
2 great running backs here, Dan. And I like running backs. Charles Hughes over at Santa Ana. Ardwan Morris, who's going crazy over there at Orange.
Yeah.
300 yards here, 200 yards there. 8th best single game total a couple of weeks back. I keep going back and forth, and I like that quarterback too, Sergio Torres over there at Santa Ana. And, somebody's got to stop somebody's running backs. And, I kind of wonder if Santa Ana can corral Mr. Ardwan Morris, who's really great running back, strong kid. But I'm going to go with Sammy Saint. I'm going with Santa Ana in this game. I like their chances. Rory's done a good job coaching. Schoonover's done a great job coaching that group. Like Santa Ana.
sure.
You know, I don't know about injuries in this game. Everybody's pretty banged up. They both play very physical styles of football. But I like Santa Ana's chance in this game. I know you're picking orange, though, aren't you?
I am picking orange. I think so. We disagree on that one. This would be a great game. I'd like to see these teams continue their rivalry. You know, that Central Orange or Orange County. We'll see if it continues. But this is, provided a lot of pretty intense, entertaining type games that a lot of passionate games over the years. And I know we've covered it. A lot of years here at the OC Register, and I'm looking forward to this one. Our coverage on this one on Friday as well.
Yep.
All right, Steve. A couple more to go here. Big games this week. Let's see. What do we got next?
Cypress-Tustin, baby.
Yes, Empire League. I was going through. Empire League. There's one team left in Orange County that's undefeated. It's the Tustin Tillers, 9-0. 4-0 in the Empire League, and they got to get to 10-0, Steve. They got to beat the defending champions, multi-time champions in Cypress. Cypress has got healthy now with Aiden Houston's back at quarterback, and Century's been tough to Cypress has been tough to beat in this league. Who do you got in this one? Do you think Tustin's going to run the table, go 10-0? Cypress has won 15 straight league games. They're 6-3 and 4-0 in league.
I'm on the Tillers bandwagon, Dan. I'm on the Tillers bandwagon. Let me just turn this thing off. What the heck is this action? Hey, I'm on the Tillers bandwagon. I love the junior running back, MSAS, right? He's terrific, very fast guy. They got the Mackenzie Allen guy as well. Scores touchdowns. Don't throw the ball a whole bunch, but I think they, the pound and ground thing that they're doing is pretty good right now. Cypress has kind of been not 100% healthy week after week. I don't know where they're at as terms that goes now, but I think that Tustin has so much momentum, so much belief in themselves. Tiller's going to be 10-0 going to the playoffs. They're going to win this one.
It's hard for me to pick against, Rick Feldman, Cypress coach, in a big game. He's done, he does such a good job with the Centurions. They just find ways. And a lot of times if we pick against Cypress, that's usually they will turn it right on us and they will win that game. They're also known for some of these upsets. They've played their way into the top 10 and, in the last couple of years with knocking off people, going down to San Juan Hills and beating San Juan Hills and things like that. They've posted some big wins. But I'm also picking Tustin in this one because I got to see Tustin earlier in the Empire League against Kennedy, and I was just so impressed with their playmakers on offense.
Right.
They were playing a really clean football. They got a lot of guys on defense, a lot of good skill at cornerback and linebackers, and they're going to be really tested because I think, Aiden Houston is such a good field general for Cypress. It's going to be a tough game, but should be a really good one in the Empire League, and I'm anxious to see how that one goes. But I'm picking the Tillers. All right, last one of the night, last but not least, Sunset League. These guys have played a lot of times for supremacy in one of the best public school leagues in Orange County. You got Edison, 4-0 in the Sunset League, going up the freeway a bit north to take on Los Alamitos, also 4-0. And this game's gonna be Friday at Veterans Stadium, Steve. And Los Al's been dominating this league as of late. They've won 19 consecutive games in league. They've been tough to beat. Their junior quarterback Alonzo Esparza has been playing really well as of late. Over 2,000 yards now, 23 touchdowns. But Edison's quarterback has been a freshman revelation. He's kind of believed to be the first freshman really starter, perhaps in Edison's history. And they've had a lot of good quarterbacks, but Sam Thompson has really been a revelation. Both these teams have good running backs, of course, and a lot of physical line play. There's a lot of interest in this one, as well as other storylines. You have Hoy Hansen, really emerged playing so well at linebacker for Edison at one point. He was at Los Al. He didn't play for Los Al, but there's some connections there. And then both these teams, Steve, as I was mentioning in the beginning, Orange County is going to the competitive equity leagues next year for football only. Going to be based off the Cal Prep rankings. And these two teams, we are fortunate in Orange County that these two teams will be grouped. It looks like they're going to be grouped together. They're slated there right now. If you look at the Cal Preps numbers, that those numbers are going to continue to be worked throughout the rest of the postseason. But right now, it looks like they're pretty safe to be in that upper 4-team league, League A, if you will. But who do you have in this one? Edison-Los Al.
Well, Los Al scored 60 or more points 4 times this season. Yeah. And you mentioned Esparza is so good, and the running backs, Julius Gillick over at Edison, Anthony League, etc. over at Los Al. Because if one guy's out and he ain't playing, it's Lenny Ibarra. And Alonzo Esparza is a pretty good runner too. Gerard Terry, etc. And then you got that guy who catches the football and knocks people over there at David Mitchell too. Yeah. Devon Mitchell. So I think Los Al's offense is just too much on fire. This could be like a wild scoring game. It could be like 50-42, kind of like that Margarita Servite score you saw last week. It could be pretty good. This game is at Veteran Stadium. Los Al plays pretty good there. It's kind of a weird place to play for the visiting team. But I like Los Al in this game. I'll be at this game. We'll be covering this game. I have to walk up up to Mount Vets, that big walk up to the press box up there. So we're doing this on Tuesday. I'll be leaving tomorrow to start walking up there. Los Al. I also have the Griffins as well. I just think they might have a little bit too much firepower on both sides of the ball for Edison. I think Edison is they've really regrouped, pretty well this year, with some of the hurdles that they faced, from scheduling, hurdles to some injuries. Yes.
And of course, they lost a big senior class. So I think they've scrambled pretty well. They might come up with something creative to try to slow down Los Alamitos on both sides of the ball. So, they got a lot of good coaches there at Edison as well. Same with Los Al. So this is this rivalry is going to continue. And who knows? Maybe they'll be in the same playoff division. Maybe they're both bound for Division II. Is the way I'm thinking. And then speaking of the playoffs, Steve, and to everyone out there, is that the playoff pairings are going to come out this Sunday at 10 a.m. And I want to ask you, Mr. Fryer, how many teams do you think will be in Division I? That's one of the big questions on my mind, and I think on a lot of football fans' mind, because that's where we can, once we know how many teams in Division I, we can start to try to make sense of the Cal Prep rankings and go from there.
Some people say it should be just a 4-team division with Mater Dei, Bosco, Centennial Corona, and Sierra Canyon, but that means like a bye here, a bye there. I don't know. It's going to work out. Last year was a 10-team division, but a couple of teams did have byes. If you kind of look at it and you look at the playoff bulletin, the way it's set up, they kind of have sort of an example there. And it might be a 10-team division. I think 8 is a little more real, but I think what these guys look at, you got to get your 8 automatic qualifiers. You're looking at the ratings of Cal Preps. You pull a team that sort of looks Division II and get them in there. It's going to be complicated. I won't be stunned if they go 10 teams again. I'm kind of thinking that's what we're going to see. Is San Clemente in that group of 10? Could be. Is it really good that San Clemente's in a group with Bosco and Mater Dei? I don't know about that, guys. Centennial, they fit in pretty good, although it's a public school. You got these private schools like Bosco and Mater Dei that are so national elite. Some people say, just go ahead and put Bosco and Mater Dei in the final right now. Just forget about it. But, there are upsets. If you've been watching Major League Baseball playoffs this year, the Braves are the best team all league. They're not playing this week, right? This coming week. So, I think you're going to see 10 teams there, Dan. What do you got?
I think it's going to be 12.
Yeah, right on.
At least 12. So that's my feeling is 12. I've been talking to a bunch of people, and but we'll see. I think I feel like it's 12, and maybe it's moving. I feel like it's kind of trending maybe back to maybe a 16-team bracket for Division I. I think it is, like you mentioned, Steve, it is tough saying to CIF Southern Section member schools, hey, or at least 4 of them, hey, you don't get 2 rounds of the playoffs. That's a lot in high school football when you don't have teams playing a lot and other people can play 14 games, at least in the or and more. So that's where I'm thinking it's going to be 12. I think.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If you're a coach and you've played 10 games, do you want that? And I think it differs from team to team. Do you want that bye after 10 weeks, or do you want to play right away because you're hot and you're rolling? What do you want?
This time of year, I think you want to keep playing, and most of these teams they've had their buys, different points. Interesting. I think, like, for example, one's interesting this week, Steve. I think Santa Ana is coming off their bye this week to play Orange. So it's interesting. Another way, and I think you could just look at it different ways. Like, one was interesting this season was San Clemente. They did not take a bye before they played Mission this year. They rolled right from Ayala and a good schedule right into Mission, took down the Diablos. Mission Viejo did take a bye to play San Clemente. You don't know how it all how it's going to go. Everybody looks at it a little bit different, but it makes for interesting stuff for us to discuss.
You feel better about having that bye if you win after the bye. If you lose after the bye, you don't feel so. That was a good idea, was it?
I know. So, all right. So we disagree on the big Freeway League clash between Sonora and La Habra, and we also disagreed on the Orange Coast one going down between Santa Ana and Orange. So we got a couple disagreements this week. So, hey, it's been a great regular season. One more week to go, Steve, and then we'll be back talking about the playoffs.
We're going to keep doing this during the playoffs?
I think so. That's the most exciting time of the year. So right up through the Southern section and maybe even some state playoffs. So I say we keep it rolling.
Great. Sounds great, Dan. Thanks for doing this with me again.
All right, everybody. We'll see you at the games. Thanks for following our coverage here on OC Varsity.